mark the passage of time. That's one of the most beautiful things about astrology is that, yes, we are timeless, eternal beings, but also, yes, we're human and we have a certain amount of limited time. This is very Saturn. And astrology helps us to mark the passage of time and to really say we are rebirthing. You can hear a lot of people say, like, oh, this is the energy of rebirth, but it's like this is truly a new cycle that's starting with Mars Neptune. And maybe you want to commit deeper to creative self, right? Maybe you want to commit deeper to someone or something in your life. Look at where Pisces is in your chart. Okay. Then Monday, we start the week off with a Capricorn moon. And we also see Venus moving into Taurus. So there's a lot of earth energy that comes through Venus and the moon here. Venus also this weekend went into the underworld. And as I mentioned, it is the part where she actually disappears from the morning sky. She will go through this transfusion of the sun and she will rebirth in July in the evening sky as an evening star. So yay, this summer, we're going to be able to see her again as this bright, beautiful evening star. I mean, she's usually the brightest in the sky, which, has captivated people for thousands or centuries of time. So Venus moves into Taurus, and yet she is in the underworld. So she is at home in the underworld, which is why I called it that. We are coming home as far as our pleasures, our comfort, being stronger, being more grounded, being more rooted. This is good for relational dynamics. However, her being in the underworld does indicate that things have to end, to die, to be shed. So this is the energy of like a snake, right? Shedding its skin, and yet it's slithering very close to the earth. And there is this energy where things are going to shift over the next month and a half before she rebirths. And they're going to revolve around you coming more home to your authentic self. Speak who you are, ground into who you are. I feel like Venus in Taurus loves to have like comfy velvet pants on, like I have right now. Loves to have like her creature comforts. So, pull on the cozy socks, get cozy, get warm. It is an energy of really the divine feminine within us going, wait a minute, yes, it's safe to be in my creative self. It's safe for me to be following pleasure as a life path. And yet Mars also on Tuesday moves into Aries. So he also comes home. He's, at 29 Pisces. On Monday, he moves into 0 degrees Aries on Tuesday. And as he slides into his home sign, we get even more activated. So we have this divine masculine that's like, I know exactly what I need to do. Very clear, very ready to take action, ready to advocate, ready to protect and defend, just like a good Mars warrior does. Just like a great energy of the masculine does, the masculine within. He's ready to be the river bank. And that Venus in Taurus, that feminine, is ready to flow and be creative and be fertile and be grounded. And so there is this really beautiful thing that's happening here with these two signs coming home. But it also could indicate that some things are ready to be let go. This is the new cycle, so things have to be let go. Now we've been letting go. So hopefully you've been letting go enough that, we get a chance to really start things on more sure footing now. As Mars moves into Aries, though, he is going to start activating the eclipse points. So we're not done with that eclipse, guys. We're not going to be done for a while. And he will activate, the 5 degrees eclipse point and then the 19 degrees eclipse point later in May. But there is this energy where things will become clearer for you. He's been in Pisces where he's like unclear, where things are a little confusing. So you might get a lot more clarity this week around what you are supposed to be doing and where you are supposed to be going and what's the next right step. Clarity is a big thing. You might even have things that have been lost to you. I have a really funny example. I have had a broken vacuum head. Well, it's not broken. I can still vacuum with it, but it's super loud. Something in it is kind of broken. I bought this cordless vacuum from Hoover and I love it so much. And so it's been so annoying for the last 5 months. It's broken. And I'm like, what the hell? And I had it on warranty. So I have sent all this information, but because Hoover doesn't necessarily ship to Canada. There's been all this confusion. It's been so confusing. And they keep like sending me a message saying, yes, it's coming. And then it doesn't come. And I have to message a month and a half later. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? But I am trusting that it's coming with Mars and Aries, because it's sort of like that. It's like all of a sudden something shows up at your door and it's just there. It's like quick and unexpected, but it's just finally there. The solution is finally there. So, I'll let you all know if the Hoover shows up, but it really is that energy. We've been in the fog and now things are clear. I can see clearly now. On the same day, Tuesday, we have Venus square Pluto. So Venus in Taurus immediately comes and squares Pluto in Aquarius. And at the same time, we have an Aquarius moon. So Tuesday is like a little funky for sure. A little, Venus square Pluto, the shadow side of that can be very obsessive and jealous and manipulative and controlling. The positive side of Venus Pluto is that it is sexy and fierce and bold and courageous. It's also very creative. It has the energy of being able to like really like entice and magnetize what you want. People who have Venus square Pluto in their charts are often quite magnetic. People can't stay away from them. There's just a magnetism to it. So Tuesday could be like the best sexy times of your life, and or it could be a little deranged, honestly, with the Aquarius moon. And that Pluto story is building this week because Pluto stations retrograde on Thursday. So we're feeling it all week, and Pluto stationing retrograde is this energy again of like, now he's ready to go to the underworld for a couple of months. He has been direct and has been moving along. January 20th, he moved into Aquarius. You'll all remember that, hopefully, if you've been in these groups. No one wasn't talking about that. Wait, no one wasn't double negative. Everyone was talking about Pluto on January 20th. So you'll probably revisit that story. And we're actually not quite sure. Like Pluto hasn't been this far into Aquarius for like hundreds of years, right? Since the 1770s. And so we don't really know. We're in like uncharted territory. But if you have planets or points around 0 to 3 degrees of Aquarius or any of the fixed signs, you're going to really be feeling this station. At the moment that Pluto stations retrograde, and I thought this was really interesting, Pluto stationing retrograde. At the moment, the moon is at 29 Aquarius. Do you see that? So Pluto stations retrograde in a loose square to Venus here. And there is a 29-degree Aquarius moon. So to me, this is like really deep, otherworldly messages coming through, galactic messages, like feeling out of this world. This is like a trigger for definitely like intergalactic talk. And, we all sort of know. I've been watching Star Wars, as you all know, with my son. And it's like, I just feel like they have it right. They're like, George Lucas was 300 years in the future. He was like, yeah, no, of course we're going to be like communicating with the other species in the planets, in the galaxies, in all the things.